Morning. Hope we're all well. Let's have a wee look, see who's in. We've got Peter N, Last Braveheart, Mark Telfer, Lorna Shields, Margaret Mackay, Stevie Charlton, who I'm afraid had a wee fog yesterday apparently, for what I can see. I hope you're alright, Stevie. Charlton, that is. Good morning, Reagan Elite. Good morning, Margaret Mackay, Eddie Wolfie, Anne Chisholm, Carl Oates, James Connolly, Leipzig, Wolfpet, Bootsman, Scott Haynes, who says it's a lovely morning in Lanark, wee bub. And there's Stevie's noticed that he fell last day, get blown off his feet, and had a wee ooch in the car park at his local shop. Hi, George Docherty. Who else we got? The other Davies in, James Connolly's in. Right, I think we've got almost everybody. Margaret Hitchens in. And Martin Williamson's in. Right, that's us right out of tap, straight down the other end. We'll take down Stephen's comment and say, I hope you're alright, bud. Okay. Numbers are climbing nicely. Hi, good morning, Margaret. Got your coffee in hand ready for me to let loose. Hi, Jane. Hello, Miss McCann. How are we this morning? Right, let's get this underway, shall we? It's Sunday Talk Davey talking at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it is 15 degrees, sunshine and showers is the forecast for today. It's sunny at the moment. It's 15. High today is expected to get to 17. The pollen count's low again. That'll be the rain keeping it down. And the main allergen is grass. So that's what the weather's like here in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. If you want to know what the weather's like where you are, look at your own bloody window. Okay. First up this morning. Well, the papers have got two storms in them this morning. Storm Kate and Storm Flores. The first half of the paper review will be dedicated to Storm Kate, and the second part of the review will be dedicated to Storm Flores. So let's get this underway, shall we? First up, we have the Scotsman. Okay, we're at the other end of the page. Cool. Okay, the Scotsman. SNP disaster after Forbes says she'll quit Holyrood. Deputy leader is latest in string of MSPs to not seek re-election. Well, I was on the party pages last night. I didn't see any meltdown. And I don't see how this is going to be a disaster. How this normally works, folks, is when an MSP decides to retire or stand down or whatever it is they're going to do, then the branch will ask people to put themselves forward for betting and then put themselves forward to replace Kate. And I have got every confidence that the Skylock Harbour and a Badenoch constituency of the SNP has got enough talent in their ranks to replace Kate. And if not, I'm sure the party has got enough talent in their ranks to parachute somebody in if necessary. But disaster. Folks, the Parliament's a young Parliament, it's 25-year-old. Some of the parliamentarians for the SNP who are standing down have spent their whole career, their whole adult careers in Holyrood. Kate's been there a decade. She's only 35. Now, to be fair, we've been quite a stable line-up for the last 18, 20 years of the Scottish Parliament. But that was bound to change. And it appears now is the time when it is changing. People have reached a certain point in their life, they want to move on. People achieved the goals they wanted to achieve in the Parliament on behalf of their constituents. There's many reasons why people want to move on. In the case of Kate here, she's recently become a young mum in 2022. She's been juggling being a young mother wife and Deputy First Minister, or party ranker, for a long time now, and she's decided she'd rather spend the time with her child. Fair dues. I have absolutely no doubt in 10 years' time or so that Kate will be back. She's only a young woman, only 35. Hopefully by the time she comes back, we'll be independent. Right, let's move on, get that nonsense done. So that's the Scotsman done. Next up we'll get the Herald. Now the Herald's got a much more nuanced angle on it. I quite like this one. Forbes quits as Holyrood fails family-friendly test. Young mum finding it very difficult to juggle being a high-ranking politician, Deputy First Minister. Even a backbencher would be complicated enough. And it would appear that Holyrood just isn't fit for purpose. Westminster's definitely no fit for purpose, but Holyrood's no. Now the question is, why is it that all these MSPs are having to leave their constituencies every day to go to Holyrood when it can be done remotely except for certain sensitive committees? It worked during the pandemic. Local MSPs would go to the Parliament to the amount that was allowed in, and further out MSPs worked remotely. They carried on the committees remotely. They carried on the Commons, the Chamber debates remotely. They held votes remotely. There is no reason why Kate's go to Upstick every fucking week and move to Holyrood, Edinburgh, and then move back. Alistair, you're heading for a naughty step, are you, bud? Fresh candle, watch them burn your arse. Well, anyway, as I say, this paper's got it right. It's no a disaster for the SNP the way the rest of them are fucking putting it, because they're your state lackeys trying to run down the SNP on behalf of the state. Problem is, when they're putting this piss out in their papers, like the Scotsman and a few others to come, they forget that we all see the fucking polling. Anyway, Forbes quits. The country loses talent for government because the way the Parliament operates isn't fit for purpose. There's no reason why Kate couldn't, and anybody else in a far-out constituency work for their constituency office and participate in the committees and in the debates in chamber remotely, the way they did for when the pandemic was in full swing. This is just nonsense. We are losing talent for no fucking reason. But as I say, she's a young woman, she'll be back. But the Herald's got the best of the headlines on this story today. And it comes at it from the right angle. It even says in its article, we shouldn't be losing talent because of the location of the constituencies. Alright. So the Herald actually, a good headline today. I don't normally say that with the Herald. Right, after the Herald we've got the scum, and as you know we don't put the scum up. And it's got Forbes quits shock. Nest of vipers out to get Deputy First Minister. I don't know where that comes from. She says she wants more time with family. Fair escape. Fair reason. And the headline is the Kate escape. I'm sure if Kate thought it was viable for her to continue to do the same job while being able to look after her mother, her daughter, sorry, then she probably wouldn't have stormed in. But she's decided that the stress of juggling the position of Deputy First Minister, even backbencher, having to travel and live in Edinburgh all week and then get home again at the weekend to all your constituencies, surgeries, they're fucking nuts. They're just nuts. Right, the Times has, let's have a look. What's the Times got for us today? Fears SNP will shift to the left after Forbes quits. Fears the SNP will shift to left after Forbes quits. I know that Forbes was on the right of the party, but it's this fucking rag no been paying attention. The SNP moved to the fucking left a long time ago. All they had to do was follow the SNP's policies, for fuck's sake. Social policies, you can see how left and centre they are. I mean, what have we had? For the last 2 decades, they've been on the left of politics. You know, if this paper had any fucking idea what it's talking about, shows you how remote these people are from Scotland. Why the fuck have they got Scotland in the title? Have they not been following the social policies of the SNP? Let's have a look, shall we, at leftish policies enacted by the SNP. Free university tuition fees. No road tolls. No bedroom tax. 12 years of council tax freeze. Baby box. Free school meals. Free early learning. Free travel for 12 to 23-year-olds. No prescription charges. No dental charges for the under 25s. Free eye test. Social care at the point of need, no matter how old you are. Fuck's sake. Wow, I could go on and on and on. You can add your comments into the comment box, folks. But you could go on and on all day. Did I mention the bedroom tax? Right, I did. Did I remember? And free sanitary products in public buildings so women never feel the shame of period poverty. These are social policies, and you could go on and on and on. They're all left-wing policies. Is this fucking rag not been paying attention? Fears SNP will shift left. At this point in time, the SNP is the most left-wing fucking party in Britain. And I hate using that one. But that's the fucking truth here. The next step for the SNP is to become fucking Trotskys, for fuck's sake. Wow. Did I mention also that we're water companies in public hands, so we're waterways are no full of shite? Or social policies. Fucking idiots. Wow, that one really annoyed me. Couldn't get more to the left if we fucking tried. No, without becoming fucking communists. Jesus Christ. Wow. I say, imagine fucking... Shows you how remote these rags that claim to be fucking Scottish are. Imagine no knowing about 18 years of introducing left-wing social fucking policies. Wow. The mind boggles. I wonder what the fails got for us this morning. Let's have a look, shall we? The Duchess of Excess explosive claims about Fergie's lavish lifestyle and eye-popping debts, as revealed in sensational new biography of Prince Andrew. Who gives a fuck? Right, bombshell as Deputy First Minister as the 25th Nationalist MSPs to quit Holyrood under Swinney. Now Forbes flees SNP sinking ship. Wow, what a dishonest fucking headline that is. We know that this fucking English rag, claiming to be a Scottish rag, printed in Scotland, allegedly, we know that this rag knows what the polling situation is. At this point in time, the SNP is on course for a fucking landslide victory, or at least just short of a majority in next year's Holyrood election. And these fucks are trying to tell us it's a sinking ship. This is agenda setting rather than reporting. Fucking wishful thinking of a British state on the front pages there. Fuck. What a lot of nonsense. SNP sinking ship. Somebody fucking just send them the polling data, will you? Fucking idiots. Oofed. Talk about dishonesty in the papers while trying to create a situation. That's how propaganda works, folks. Fuck. Right, next up this morning we have the National. What's the National vote for us? The National has Forbes to quit at the election, Deputy First Minister to stand down as MSP to spend more time with family. Opponent sees on decision. Aye, that's right. So they can claim the SNP is a tired administration and a sinking ship. And we've seen that in the previous papers. But the polling doesn't bear that out. And praise for invaluable contribution that Kate's made in the last decade. And what does exit mean for shape of future SNP leadership contest? It means that whoever's going to challenge John won't be fucking Kate. What this sort of stupid question is that, National? What does exit mean for shape of future SNP leader contest? What it fucking means, you stupid newspaper, is Kate will be the challenger! Fuck! Illiteracy and stupidity in every fucking publication. Wow. Police Scotland's arrest at pro-Palestine protests may have breached human rights. It fucking does breach human rights. This isn't fucking England. There's no police, crime, courts, and sentencing fucking act here clamping down on protest. There's no lads up at Police Scotland waving their willy about and shouting, terrorists! To peaceful fucking protesters. Wow. Wow. Mental. Absolutely mental. This isn't England. Arresting peaceful fucking protesters is against the fucking law here. And it does breach your human rights. The basic human right to protest and to gather. Fuck. We might be doing away with people's fucking civil liberties in England, but that's no happening here. As for the Terrorism Act, you stick up their arse. Police Scotland's not applying it. And you're right, Stephen. The police regularly break people's fucking rights. That's because people generally don't tend to know that the police by consent. And if you don't give them consent, they can go fuck themselves. Okay, unless of course they can prove you're committing a crime. The amount of time I've been pulled over the police and asked if they could search my car and I said, the fuck? Just tell me to get fuck. Mental. Right, their answer has Storm Florence. We're on the second set of storms, folks. Storm Florence wreaks havoc, battered. There's a picture of a 7-ton box fan on its site. And where it says in the subtitle, the sub-headline is Travel Chaos as Country Ravaged by Hurricane Force Gusts. Turns over vans and thousands left without power. Thing is, the storm passed us by. I've seen some of the devastating effects it had on social media this morning and listened to a wee bit of the radio. But it's quite a nice day here yesterday. A wee bit blowy. The wind was warm. A bit like the day. Sunshine and shivers. So I do know that parts of Scotland did get battered. But it wasn't here in the Central Belt. Certainly wasn't here where I am. Thank you, Charlie Cat's fan club. We know you love Charlie Cat. Thank you. Charlie Cat appreciates it. As you can see, he's lying in his usual position. The table cat. Hey, John, how's it going, mate? Thanks very much, John. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all fine or in fine fettle. A wee something for the food banks. Thanks, John. Hope you and others are doing well. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. I am having problems with East Lothian, folks. I did say it was going to be a problem area because it's quite an affluent area. And they're not very trusting. And they're not as needy as other areas. So trying to give them money is fucking hard gone. I have tried to contact a local councillor to get her to vouch for us. I might actually speak again to the East Lothian Food Bank, who has received money from us yesterday, to ask if they could verify that this isn't a scam to the other two locations so we can get the money out the door. But if not, then we'll move on, because I'm not wasting my time trying to give money to people who don't need it. East Lothian is a wealthy area, but there is only about 5 different organisations in East Lothian, and I've covered 3 of them already, but I'll look at the other 2. But if I have to, I'll cross her into the borders, but I need to get it out the door. Okay, let's move on. Where were we? Well, that was their answer. Next up, we've got the Express, and it's also on the weather. In fact, it's mainly the weather for the rest of the way in, folks. Tell you, there's 2 storms today. So here we go. Wind speeds exceed 80 miles an hour as storm powers through, leaving chaos in its wake. Florida's forces their way across Scotland. And as I say, I have seen some of the I've seen trees down on railway lines and all sorts this morning. Just didn't happen here. It was a non-event. So if you were in the eye of the storm and you got a battering, I'm really sorry. I'm pleased to say, though, I didn't get a battering here. It was a lovely, it was a really nice day. Aye, the wind was up a bit, blowing about a bit, but it was mainly dry, and the wind was warm. Jesus, the wind was warm. Right, so that was a Winnie Rag, the Express, the last one. Next up, we have the Metro, and it's on the storms and all. And it says travel chaos as gusts reach up to 133 mph. Now, I don't know where it got up to 133 mile an hour. It must have been somewhere pretty high up. But, as I say, it bypassed us here. It just didn't hit. Aye, it was a wee bit breezy, but that was it. So there you go, Storm Flores makes its mark. And it did. As I say, I've seen some of the footage this morning on social media and on YouTube. But as I say, it just didn't happen here. It was a non-event. Next up, we've got the red and blue Tory graph. The Daily Telegraph. Parents pay 500 million to beat school VAT rate. Let me translate that for the stupid. The rich who don't pay tax have found another way to avoid paying fucking tax. And we wonder why the public services don't work when these fucks don't pay tax. And now they've found a way round paying VAT on the school fees. And what they're doing is they're paying the whole term that the children are going to be there in one go. Apparently. And that's allowing them to beat the VAT. I don't know how that works. I'm sure it explains it in the article. And Corbyn goes to war with Rayner over allotment sell-off, and that's because Rayner is encouraging councils to sell off their allotments so that they can build hussies. There you go. Well, there's that many derelict buildings all around all these towns and cities. Just fucking convert them. Just convert them. Daft. Right, that was a Telegraph. What have we got next? Next up, we'll get the Eye. So we'll put it up. What's in the Eye this morning? Home Office to detain small boat migrants for deportation to France in days. And what this is telling us is, what this paper's framing it as one in, one out to start in a couple of days. But it's 50 in and 1 out. We're a bit fucking... Said this all the way along. When all these papers were describing this as 1 in, 1 out and trying to give Starmer a break, it's fucking 50 in, 1 out. So this 1 in, 1 out's a lot of nonsense. I haven't seen the exam start, Stephen, but no doubt they'll be coming up. No doubt David and I will probably be talking about them at some point this week. Right. So that was the Eye. Thanks, Class Action. You're a star. I guess you're here in the Central Belt as well then, Class Action. Yeah. Because I'll tell you what, there was no storm here yesterday. Right, where we up? Aye, Home Office to detain fault. This is just a nonsense story, folks. For every 50 in, he might get to send one back. Might. But this is stupidity. And we're back on this fucking asylum crap. As I keep saying, we've got an ageing population. Apparently, we've got big gaps in the employment markets. We're lacking talent and educated people. And of course, as I was saying yesterday, when they shut down the education schemes for these people via defunding, it's a waste of fucking talent. We have a need of these people, and they're being denied the right to work. And I see Farage and that new party that's started in the right wing down there with Tommy Robson in it, Advance UK, I think it's called, and Reform UK. See, they want to just fucking remigration. There was remigration protests in Manchester and London at the weekend. All these white supremacists sat in the streets shouting, throw them out, throw them out, throw them out. Fuck's sake. What have they become? What have they become? Oofed. They want to get a grip of this fucking nonsense. By the time the politicians start portraying migration for what it is, good for us and good for the economy. And if it wasn't for migration, we'd still be eating fucking turnip and cabbage all the time. But at least they brought flavour with them. Next up, The Guardian. What nonsense is in this fucking stupid rag the day? I hate this publication, by the way. And since they started coming to Scotland, they haven't fucking published any Scotland stories. Police warn of mass arrests at Palestine action protest. I guess the police don't get it, do they? Fucking idiots. Saying that, they're not any brighter than the people who lead the forces. And that, in this case, it's Yvette Cooper. But police warn of mass arrests at Palestine action protest. And the police fucking stupid. I know this is trying to put people off going, but the police fucking stupid. The actual given reason for having this protest is because they can't arrest them all. It's to rip the piss out of the UK government and say, come on then, we support Palestine action, arrest us fucking all. We're all anti-genocide, arrest us all. It would appear that the police have missed the point of this fucking protest. So instead of trying to threaten people, police it peacefully and properly, and let the government take the shit instead of the police forces. Wow. Aye, Jen. We will trade races for refugees. Fucking right we will. But it would appear that the Guardian and the police in England have missed the point of the fucking protest. It's called the Can't Arrest Us All protest. Oof. What the police need to do here is let the government take the hit. Instead of doing what the government tells them, stand back, police it properly, police it peacefully, and let the government take the fucking hit. Wow. Fuck's sake. Fascist little England with its fascist police force and its fascist laws that ban public peaceful protest. You couldn't make it up. How the fuck did they get there? Well, actually, how did they get there? That story's actually on the front page of the Daily Star this morning, which I won't forget to put up. It's not the headline, but it's there. Alright, let's take this down. And we'll put up the Star. How did we get where we are today? I'll tell you how we got there today, but first let's get the Star up. The Daily Star. Baby killer shock. Left Bay parties on bail. That's the headline. Now let's sort this one out. This young lady Letby was convicted. Some experts come along and said that conviction's no safe. The Crown Office has let her go on bail while they look at evidence and decide whether to acquit her or whether to retry her. But the fact that the young lady is out enjoying herself after a long period of incarceration, maybe even incorrect incarceration, it's no surprise that she's letting her hair down, is it? But the one I want to talk about today is James Whale tributes. Now, you wonder why England is where it is today? You can blame him and his fucking creed. Him and his creed. The shock jocks. The ones that brought popular culture to the fore. The ones that asked the questions, is there too many immigrants? The ones that paraded poverty porn in front of us on television and on radio. The bear beaters of the poor. That's how England got to where it is today. People like Whale and Jeremy Kyle and the broadcasters and the rags with their poverty porn and their fucking popular shit. But it all started with the shock jocks. Guys like Scotty McClue and that fucking spanner Whale. That's where it started. The Atlantic archipelago separated from mainland Europe 450,000 years ago. Us humans only left Africa 120,000 years ago. We're all immigrants on this island. Absolutely correct, class action. But as I say, if you want to wonder how England got to where it is today, look at people like James Whale. The shock jocks of their day. Here in Scotland was an idiot called Scotty McClue. But these people are where it started. Then it was picked up by the papers. Then the fucking broadcasters. And of course, a lot of us coming out of Parliament at the time with Tony Blair battering the single mothers while perpetrating the biggest heist in UK fucking history on the people with the tax credit system and the minimum wage. I don't know how many times we've got to explain this to people, but Tony Blair was the biggest crook ever to hit that Parliament down that fucking road, and it was a corporate takeover. The employer was no longer responsible for making sure that you had a decent living for the skill set you had. That was transferred onto the middle classes. The taxpayer. Alright, what was funny about it at the time, I was saying to my wife, with my wife at the time, of course, we were going out with each other. A couple of years later, she became my wife. But when this was actually perpetrated on us in the early 2000s, I turned to Sarah and says, you know what this fucking means, Sarah? She said, what? I says, it means I'm paying tax to top up your fucking wage, instead of your company paying you a decent wage. And people didn't get it. People didn't get it. And the rich got richer. Wealth inequality grew at 1,000,000 miles an hour after that was done. And wage suppression started because wages weren't going up by inflation. The fucking stupid are what the stupid are. Right, that's it for the day. Back tomorrow morning with the other Davey to do it all again. That means class action will not be showing up tomorrow. Well, class action, what can I say? Anyway, thanks for your super chats today, folks. As I say, right after this programme, I'm going to get back on trying to get this out the door. But if I can't get it out in East Lothian, I did say that getting money out in East Lothian was going to be a problem. A big one. In fact, I might even just go back to East Lothian Food Bank because it's a fucking independent and give them the rest of it. You know, for the month. Because it is supposed to go into that area in East Lothian. And East Lothian Food Bank, being the biggest independent in the area, is the one that's supplying the poorest people in the area. I might go back there and give them a wee bit more. But as I say, I'm going to try to get out to other charities in the area, and if I have to, I'll cross around into the borders. Bye for now, folks. Look after yourself. See you tomorrow morning. Don't be late or let Alistair